With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Right to the air. Here's Stafford. And a quick throw here. That's complete. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. 2nd down. Now Stafford. He gets this to Davante Adams. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Stafford looks to throw again. He'll drop this down to Williams. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Now a play fake it at Stafford. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game. Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's 1st down from the 42. Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
That good for 22 and a 1st down.
All right, I've got to be careful here, all right? He's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his feet as far as he's concerned.
What are you saying? I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely. Still got a lot of life left in those legs. Oh, the motion comes too late, and this is going to be a delay. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Henry. And he'll take this one down to about the 40.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Throwing is Jackson. Henry's got it out on the left side. And the stiff arm made it a pretty little run. Not a huge gain, but a nice chunk of yardage. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
Facing fourth down, Baltimore will punt. Jordan Stout out there. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Stafford now to throw. Short throw, it's Higbee. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Stafford to Higbee there. Rams first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
From the gun, it's a run for Williams. Shrugs him off. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Trenton Simpson firing in and sticking him for a loss. He was able to escape momentarily in the backfield, but you could just kind of tell that wasn't going anywhere.
You know, in the film session, he'll get a minus for not getting him on the ground by himself. But what the coach is really going to analyze, how fast did his teammates get there to help him? If one guy slows him up, everyone else better be there, and that's what they got on that play.
Over the middle, complete. It's Adams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he's across the 45. It'll be second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 46-yard line, a second down and 6. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Here's Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. To throw is Stafford. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
He's able to force his way through one man, but he can muster only about a yard on the play. Second down.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9. Throwing is Stafford. And that's complete to Adams. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 33. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays,
They run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
They go back to the ground with Williams. About 3 yards there to the 27. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on third down. Here's Stafford. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And this is going to be incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing again is Stafford. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
They converted twice on third down that drive already, but couldn't make it a third. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
So on 4th down, Sean McVay going to send out the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And the Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football, all right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Jackson to Andrews on that one. First down, Baltimore.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Hopkins, the man in motion right. They go play action with Jackson. To the right side, into the hands of Flowers. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
The slot man in motion right. Now they'll fake the jet sweep and run up the middle with Henry. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the 35, here's a 2nd down and 9. In motion right goes Hopkins. They go play action now. Jackson. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. 3-0 after one on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They'll try and run the option. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Wow, first and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called a sign.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry from 6 yards away. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Now Williams running left. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The Rams on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Just beating the play clock. Stafford. That is caught. And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Off the draw, here's Williams. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Seemed like they picked an excellent time there, Charles, to go with the draw play.
They certainly did. Caught him a little over-eager trying to get into the backfield and get to the quarterback. They used their speed and their aggressiveness against them, didn't they?
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now it's Stafford. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Owe from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
Now, that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical
and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. In motion right goes Adams. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Owe. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
He found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Play action. It's Jackson. That's caught. It's Flowers. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Henry up the middle. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Now Jackson.
Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete.
And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 39. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Following the delay, here's 2nd and 9. Now it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
Well, you got to think, Charles, that one's on the quarterback, as everybody was up at the line of scrimmage. He just didn't call for the snap in time.
Yeah, I think he needs a little bit better awareness out there, because you got to know when the clock's in single digits and either snap it or get a timeout called if you have one.
Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Jackson. This will go to Henry out wide. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Derrick Henry with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield in the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. Fighting through at the 25. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Second down and 3. Stafford. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Play action. Stafford.
Pass complete there to Nakua.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2 yards to go, 2nd down.
To the air again. Stafford. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Stafford.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Call it a gain of 5 as they move the sticks.
But with the score where it is, you're not thinking field goals right now. You need touchdowns. So that was a much-needed conversion there on 3rd down.
1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Adams. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, it's Stafford. This will be caught at about the 6. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now Stafford. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab it, and that'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact.
And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Rams get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on his stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. To throw is Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Play action. Now Jackson. Yet again, targeting and finding Mark Andrews. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, this from 48. And this one is right down the middle. And the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal. Not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And able to get this out to the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Here's Jackson to throw. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33.
Running from the gun with Henry. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
On 3rd down, Henry. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. In motion right, one of the tight ends. Now it's Jackson.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Oh, and they sent the man in motion too late. This is going to be a delay. They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game, 2nd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. Going right back to DeAndre Hopkins. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle is going to be made at the Rams' 30. 15 yards there on the catch and run. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
So from the 26-yard line, here's the 2nd down and 6. Flowers going to go in motion right.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard.
Off the option, here's Henry.
And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Flowers going to go in motion right. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry taking it in from the 20.
And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Well, now how about this return?
And a great return, solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9.
Here's Stafford. Throw left side complete. That's Adams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had it and dropped it. That is an unforced error there, and it takes away what could have been a touchdown.
And this is a situation where as a head coach, you're just saying, what else could go wrong? Let's get it all out of our system, please. This has been a sloppy game throughout. The execution has been lacking. A lot of mistakes, both mental and physical. And here's a big play that goes by the wayside.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 24-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. And a short gain here down to the 22. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Throwing is Stafford. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw, and they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Here's Stafford. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Davante Adams. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Rams get a bit closer. So a very important first drive of the 3rd quarter, Charles, and safe to say, a much-needed touchdown.
Which leads to the question, what was this in the first half? Because if they'd had a few more drives like that, they wouldn't be in this situation. But that is the kind of drive that sends a message to the other side. We're going to be here, and we're going to battle you to the end.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their lead down from 21 to 14, but still sitting in a great spot, up 2 scores here in the 3rd quarter. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And they worked this well upfield across the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
The tight end in motion right. A 1st down carry for Henry. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory.
63 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
2nd down and 4.
They'll bring a tight end in motion right. Now Jackson. That's into the hands of Flowers over the middle. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams 36. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven 1st. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in his performance.
Going deep for Hopkins. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, that has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
We're in Baltimore. 3rd quarter action. 2nd and 10.
Jackson now. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
This will go to Henry out wide. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive.
Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
I know that we've seen their share of struggles, and the quarterback's been hit a few times in this game, but this one can't be put on the offensive line. They gave him plenty of time to throw the football. I think ultimately he has to be a lot more decisive in his decision-making and get rid of it and find an open target.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Foreseeing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Stafford. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23.
That pattern and scheme was well defensed on 3rd down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stopped him short.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So both teams trade touchdowns in the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
In motion left, Flowers.
Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. 3rd and 7 now.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they've run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a 1st down.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them. They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 6.
Jackson. Henry's got it out on the left side. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches.
This has been a tremendous drive to this point, and this is all you want, playing with a lead in the 4th quarter. If you can keep the ball on the ground, keep the sticks moving, you're going to be in good shape to finish this one off.
They keep it with Henry on first down.
Down to the 42, 2nd down. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Again, it's Henry. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Throwing is Jackson.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to kick it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards, and they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved. Back to throw, Stafford. And that's complete to Adams. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
To the 43, 2nd down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Here's 2nd and 7.
Now it's Stafford.
He'll get this one complete to Atwell.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 39. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Stafford. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. Throwing again is Stafford.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 12-yard line.
So they'll, of course, decline the pass interference there and wisely take the yardage.
And I think defensively he's saying, I was getting away with that in the first half. Why are you making that call now? But to me, that one was pretty easy to see. I don't understand what he's upset about. I think it was the correct call.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
I like his awareness in the pocket there. Nowhere to go with the football. So instead of forcing it to the sideline, he's just going to put this one into the harbor and live to fight another down without getting wet.
The Rams on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 4. Stafford. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams.
Puka Nacua.
A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Rams have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now it's Jackson.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here.
Shoves him aside. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
97 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football.
They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Rashad Bateman on the touchdown throw from Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. But that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Now Stafford. That is caught. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 27 yards there on a very nice third down conversion. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Stafford. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Trenton Simpson, well, he just flew in there to drop him.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
From the 50, it's Stafford.
Open man is Atwell, complete.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
This crowd turning up the decibel level. It's third and long.
Stafford now to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
The two timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10.
Here's Stafford. Now the ball comes loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So now Stafford and the Rams
down by 2 touchdowns. Under a minute 20 to go. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
We've got to have two hands on the football here as they run on first down.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Rams going to be forced to use their third and final timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. The Ravens send their punter out now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Throwing is Stafford. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
You get into these 2-minute drill situations, and you've often got tired legs on the offensive line. But these defenders, they've been rotating in and out, and they're a little bit fresher and quicker. And the pressure there forced the incompletion.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
One last throw here for Stafford. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared. But executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.